On the streets of Brownsville, Brooklyn, a retired cop chased and threatened 3 children after one of them damaged his family's storefront camera.
I came out, I said, "You broke my camera, you come back, I'm gonna shoot your ass."
Police from the local precinct arrested the retired officer for allegedly menacing the kids with a gun, which in New York involves intentionally putting someone in fear of death or imminent physical injury.
Tell Jay to call Sergeant Lewis, and also Sergeant Lewis call Chief Madry for me.
Yet, rather than getting processed and arraigned, the former cop was removed from a jail cell within 40 minutes and released 2 hours later. The NYPD claims an investigation was conducted that night, which led to his release. But video footage, newly obtained by the city, offers a rare behind-the-scenes look at how 2 top NYPD chiefs, one now the highest-ranking uniformed officer in the department, intervened. 36 videos, culled from police body-worn cameras and neighborhood and police precinct surveillance cameras, detail retired officer Krytoff Forrester's arrest on the evening before Thanksgiving in 2021 and release just hours later. They were obtained via public disclosure law from the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office. It began with 3 youths walking past Forrester's father's building in Brownsville with a basketball. Their families wish for them to remain anonymous. Video shows their basketball striking Forrester's family's storefront camera. The kids, at the time ages 12, 13, and 14, say Forrester followed them, pointed his gun at one of them, and chased them for blocks. While multiple videos show portions of Forrester's 7-minute pursuit of the kids through Brownsville streets, the retrieved footage doesn't show him drawing his gun. Still, when cops first encountered the retired cop, they found him with a licensed 9mm gun worn on his right hip. He insisted he never took it out of the holster.
I tried to walk up behind them. I didn't take it out. It's in my waist. It's in my waist. It's in my waist. In your waist? Yeah, I didn't take it out. I'm just gonna take it out. Yeah, go ahead. I said you come back. You come back. I'm gonna shoot you. But I didn't take it out.
Questioned later by 73rd Precinct Sergeant Carl Hanisch, Forrester offered an explanation for why the kids might have thought he was carrying a gun.
I just put my hoodie on, and I put my hand in my pocket with my keys like this, and I'm came out and was like, yo, well, you broke my camera, man. And he looked back and looked my hand like this. I don't know if he see this. He was like, yo, got a gun. Just like that. I never got my gun. My gun's my waist the whole time. My hoodie just like this. Just like this.
But how would he know he actually had it?
He said that I had a gun.
Yet in separate interviews, the children were able to accurately describe the gun cops found on Forrester.
What color was it?
On the gun, it was black and like a little bit of silver.
He described the gun?
Yeah, it's silver and black on the thing.
And were consistent in where he drew it from.
And where did he pull it from?
The third one, he takes
His side to
come down.
He put out the gun from somewhere over here and then just was walking with it towards me. And
You have it?
Yeah, I never took it out.
Where is it?
Never once took it out. Never once took it out.
The matching responses about what the gun looked like and where Forrester pulled it from led Hanisch to order Forrester's arrest, known in police code as a 1092.
Maybe 92. They described the gun, they described where he pulled it from. It's two, the guy says this, but they said silver and black on top. Told me he pulled it from the side waist where he has his holster. At this point it is. So, it's hard to say someone's got a gun and describe a gun and then that guy has a gun and it matches.
Shortly after being handcuffed, Forrester invokes the name of Jeffrey Madry, then Chief of Community Affairs, and now NYPD's highest-ranking uniformed officer, Chief of Department. Madry was Forrester's former supervisor.
Look, tell Jay to call Sergeant Lewis, and also Sergeant Lewis call Chief Madry for me.
At the precinct, Forrester twice asked for police personnel to contact Madry on his behalf. When he asks a second time, someone in the station house reminds him security cameras are recording.
Look, tell me I cannot call Chief Madry because my phone is in my
cameras are on recording.
Sorry. Okay.
Minutes later, Forrester is placed in a holding cell. Soon, the intervention began. A succession of officers walked to the cell to greet Forrester and lend him a cell phone. He had worked for 15 years at that very precinct, including for 3 years under Madry, who was the precinct commander starting in 2006. Locked up for just 38 minutes, Forrester was moved to another room in the precinct house away from the cell area. For a chief to get involved in a precinct-level arrest,
That's definitely not something that happens normally.
according to retired 30-year NYPD veteran Detective Michael Alcazar.
Normally, a chief doesn't show up at the precinct to help to avoid an arrest. I've never seen that.
Yet, about an hour after Forrester asked for him, Chief Madry arrives at the precinct. At the time, he oversaw the NYPD's community relations and was responsible for building trust in the police. Soon after, Brooklyn North Deputy Chief Scott Henderson, a former colleague of Madry's, walks into the station house through the back door. An hour after the two chiefs arrived, Forrester walked out of the precinct's main door and greeted Madry in the lobby. About 20 minutes later, Forrester left the precinct, his arrest voided. NYPD guidelines allow for arrests to be voided when there is reasonable cause to believe the prisoner did not commit the offense, but the reason for it must be documented. The NYPD declined to provide that documentation when asked. Madry and Henderson's activities while in the precinct house were not captured in the footage obtained by the city. An NYPD spokesperson said Madry and Henderson didn't order the arrest voided, they ordered an investigation, which found that the facts relayed by the teenagers were contradicted by the retired officer and could not be verified by the video, ShotSpotter audio tracking system, or any other witness. The NYPD declined to answer questions about the extent of that night's investigation, including how many witnesses were questioned and how many surveillance cameras were accessed before Forrester's release. In total, Forrester spent 2 hours and 41 minutes at the precinct before walking out the back door. Forrester, Madry, and Henderson did not respond to our request for comment. The Brooklyn DA's office, which reviewed both the incident and its aftermath, found no criminality, and the NYPD's Internal Affairs Bureau found no misconduct by Madry or Henderson. A probe by the Civilian Complaint Review Board, a police oversight agency, is ongoing. Last November, the families of the three youths filed a civil action against Forrester, asserting that their sons continue to suffer from severe anxiety and distress. During the incident, the court papers say, the boys feared for their lives.